Hello, everybody. This is Servet Hassan. The name of the show is Intuitive Inc. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Southern California, and I have a really great guest. She was on with us once before, and we got so many phone calls that we couldn't get to them. Actually, I was just telling her somebody called. I hadn't even finished introducing her, and people were calling in already. So we have her back, and her is Frances W. Greenspan. She is an animal communicator. She's also an intuitive and an author and a teacher. She started all of this as a former pet groomer, and she's been actively involved in the world of animals from a very early age. And she's written 3 books on animal communication. What Do Your Pets Want You to Know, which was our last show. And then More Messages Your Pets Want You to Know, which is this show. And then Learn to Speak with the Animals by Developing Your Psychic Ability. And she also teaches classes on that. So maybe that'll be our next show with her. So now here's a calling in already. So let's do this. Frances, are you there?
I'm here.
Well, this is the same thing as last time. Someone called in right away. I hadn't even finished introducing you, and here we go again. So, hello, are you on the line? Hello? Hello? I answered a call. Caller, are you on the line? It's a 305 number. I have it in front of me, so I don't know where they went. Well, we'll let them go. So, anyway, I don't know what happened there, Frances, but the phone was ringing. The lines were ringing already, just like last time. Well, I'm going to tell people that they can call in anytime now. I will take their calls. So we will take their calls, especially Frances, because she's here, the one that's going to be answering these questions. So the number is 949-313-8880. So, and we'll just continue chatting till somebody calls in. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, if no one's calling in right away, is what happened to me. I paid more attention after our last conversation, last time you were on the show. I paid more attention to what my dog Harper was telling me about me more often. And it really helped, because a lot of the times I realized that she was trying to get me up out of my chair. I spent a lot of time at my desk. And I kept thinking she was being needy. But you know what? I figured out she really is just trying to get me up and moving, because I get stiff and it's not good for me to sit that long.
Absolutely. They are our best teachers.
Don't you think that's what she really, I thought, oh, she's just being needy. She's bugging me. She's like, go away. I'm in the middle of, I'm in the zone or something, And I realized, no, I work better if I get up more often and walk around and do something. And so she would come every hour or so. She's over.
And that's exactly what they recommend, is to get up every hour and walk around just a little bit, just to stretch, not to be sitting at your computer, all day long. Right. Whether you're at a desktop or whatever.
Yeah, I noticed that immediately after the show. The next day I was back at my computer Monday morning, typing away, coming up with some new ideas. And I was at it for probably, 2.5 hours. And I just kept, and I just kept shooing her off. And so, yes, they are telling us something. And the example you gave on that show was excellent. And so I really started paying more attention. Has that happened to you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They reflect what our emotions are. They reflect what our personalities are, how we're behaving. If we're sad, they will comfort us. If we're needy, they tend to come up and be near you. At least those that are that type. If you have health issues, they will take on symptoms. They will absolutely take on to relieve the symptoms of a person in the family that may have issues. They may take on some of the actual symptoms to relieve it from that family member.
Well, what do you mean? Like if you have, like, let's say you have, give me an example.
Well, I can tell you I had some kidney issues, and my cat took on much of the symptoms for me. Unfortunately, I had to put him down because he took on so much that I didn't realize.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I had another client whose cat went blind. Fortunately, she had cataract surgery so she could see, but the cat took on much of the symptoms so that she could see better.
Oh,
so it's paying attention to whatever ailments the pets have. If you didn't pay attention, what's going on with your body? They are the first ones to take them on. So it's important whether it's thyroid, whether it's allergies. I find so many, especially now with wheat allergies, the gluten-free, all that. The animals have that too because they're taking on for the owners. So as many things that we're allergic to or we're sensitive to, pay attention to what the ingredients are in their foods as well, because they will react in this very similar way.
Right, right. Wow, geez, that's amazing. Your poor kitty cat. So how many cats do you have now?
I now am down to one, and he's been saying he's good by himself. He's very definitely not a social cat and does a lot of hiding. And he's been like that from the beginning, so I just let him hide. He's definitely easy to have around because I never see him. He eats and ducks, you know. It's like, okay.
How old is he?
He is 12.
Oh, so he...
And I've had him since he was a kid.
Yeah.
And, you know, my previous two, so there were three together at different points, were always the friendly, loving ones, and his personality is just to hide. So that aspect of my personality I'm reflecting is very much through him.
Oh, really? Are you hiding a lot lately?
I don't know if it's lately or just I prefer being alone, I think. You know, or at least not being in big crowds. I'm not a big crowd person. I'm an individual, one-on-one kind of person. He's very much like that. He doesn't like a lot of people.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, I think we need to have you on one more time because we've talked about the first book, what they want you to know, and now more of what they want you to know. And learn to speak with the animals sounds really interesting to me because you teach classes on developing your psychic ability to be able to tune into them, right?
Absolutely. I have a class coming up this month, June 11th, at Awakenings in Laguna Hills.
Great.
And
is that on your website or on your Facebook or
on my Facebook? I didn't get it onto my website in time, but it is in Facebook, and you can always contact me. I can send the information. It's also on the Awakening website, so they can see it there, and there's flyers and all.
And it's June 11th, which is next Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Right. And what time is it? What time is the event?
From 4 to 6.
4 to 6. And what do you teach when you, just a brief overview, what do you talk about when?
We do exercises that help to recognize our abilities. Everybody has a different way of receiving information and the energy of the exercises we do. And at the end, everybody has photos of their pets. I ask them to bring actual photos, like the old-fashioned kind. And I have the students exchange photos and do readings for each other. And what I ask for, and what I ask the callers to tell me too if they have a question, is the name of the pet, what they are, and how old they are. Mm-hmm. And for the questions for today, if there's a specific question on an issue. Right. But in the class, I ask the students to ask the pet, what does the owner need to know?
Okay.
And we leave it open to that, and that's a open-ended kind of thing. But today's questions will be specific questions. So.
Right, and people can call in. I'm going to say the number again, 949-313-8880. They were all clamoring last time, and now we so call on in. No, I know people get information different ways. I do, and I teach those types of things, intuitiveness as well, because I think everybody's intuitive. It's just a question of being able to tap into that. And also, you have to develop it. It's a muscle, just like anything else, So,
and I think it's practice, and it's about trusting what you're getting, because if you're hearing something, recognizing that you're not making it up, that is actually a message.
Right. That's people, and sometimes we get even without a doubt messages, and we still doubt them. They're just like they bang us on the head with a 2x4. This is a sign comes in, and here we have another caller. So let's take this one.
Okay.
Let's see. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi, caller. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just wanting to call about a cat.
Okay.
So.
Francis is on the line. Go ahead.
Okay. My kitty cat is named Tori. He's a 5-year-old male gray tabby, and he's been having stomach issues pretty much his whole life. I think he was not thriving as a kitten when I rescued him. And he's a very loving boy cat, but he does vomit a lot. I've tried every diet from grain-free, gluten-free to raw to cooking it to, you name it, vet diets, prescription diets. And he still seems to have a very touchy stomach. So now I'm at the point where I've done laboratory, everything's normal, x-rays normal, all that. And the vet's suggesting the endoscope where you go down in their throat and see if he has some esophageal thing. And that's my concern. Am I going to torture him by, this, or should I just let him be a vomiter? And maybe that's just who he is. I'm just really struggling. Do I put him through the test?
Well, let me just say, he's so young. I don't believe he needs to go through all that stuff. But let me just tune in and see what I feel or what I hear from him. Just hold on a sec. Do you have a nervous stomach yourself?
Sometimes I do, but I eat healthy. I eat gluten-free, and I try to avoid, I don't do anything to irritate.
Okay, so he's taking on your symptoms. So
that's how I know. I was just listening to the show.
Yeah. So take care of yourself. It'll take care of him. Be sure and look at the ingredients, that it's all good food. But do you do dry food and wet food?
Well, he does like dry. He'll eat a little bit of wet, which has been, most cats love wet food, but he's the one who prefers the dry. So I'm just wondering if I should wet it more so he doesn't choke or vomit. But it's almost like he throws up almost after swallowing, and he's not a cat who eats it very fast. He just seems to puke like 5 minutes after, but not always. But I'm just wondering if he's just picking up something from me, or there's another cat outside that's upsetting him.
I'm feeling he's picking up anxiety from you.
Okay.
And so do you meditate at all?
No, I just pray, I guess. I do prayers, but I should meditate, yeah.
Well, meditation, prayer can be meditation too.
Yeah. And meditation, when I say meditation, isn't necessarily sitting and oming all day long. If you do some I think relax more, like do some active, like walking or gardening or things that you enjoy in a low, energy kind of way. because
Okay.
he's picking up that from you.
Okay.
So you calm yourself down, your system down, he'll calm down too.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And all right, I enjoy the show very much.
Great.
Thank
you. Thanks for
Okay.
calling in.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Frances, how old was that kitty cat?
5 years old.
5 years old. Okay, yeah, she's a little too young because I don't want to interrupt right in the middle of it, but I didn't think. And I got the same feeling. I got the feeling that she's got not like really high anxiety, but that she's nervous.
Yeah.
And it takes its toll on her stomach because I think it's just a slight nervousness, like not enough to, need anti-anxiety, anything. And I'm not a doctor, so I can't really say that. That's just my opinion. But I just feel like she's got some nervous energy. And I felt that. So, yeah, good. Well, anybody else wants to call in? We're still here, 949-313-8880. And we're on with Frances Greenspan, our animal communicator. And if you've got an issue with your pet or even an issue with yourself, call us and she'll help you. Now, what would be the strangest, or not strangest, there are no strange animals, what would be the most unique animal that you've tuned into?
A turtle.
A turtle?
It was a turtle in one, I don't know what you call it, fish tank or whatever it was, and across from it was an iguana. And they had what I would call a zoo in their home. And the owner was saying, or the client, that she was going to be moving the turtle over to where the iguana was. And I felt the turtle going, no! I go, are you moving the iguana out of that before you put the turtle in? And she said, oh, of course. I said, okay, that was the question from the turtle. He was getting a little bit upset.
Oh, so she wasn't going to put them both in the same aquarium.
No, but the way it was said, it felt by the turtle that that's what was going to happen.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. Well, then a turtle. How old was the turtle? Did you know?
I don't know. It was a smaller kind, though. I would say about 10 inches across, if that much.
Oh.
So I don't know turtles.
Have you ever had a hard time with have you ever, I have with some people, and I will tell them the truth because I'm not one of those people who's, just give me your money and I'll tell you. Sometimes I don't get anything. Sometimes I just.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Does that happen?
Absolutely. I had one dog that would not communicate with me at all. The owner was trying to get him to use a ramp to go in the car, and he would, or stairs or something, and there was no way he was going to do that. He would not go in this car for anything.
We have another caller, so hang on a second. Hello? Hello? Hello, caller? Yes? Hello?
Who is this?
I don't
Caller?
know. Well, we have a caller on the line, but they're not saying anything. I wonder if it's just a bad connection because we have two participants here. All right, well, we'll just see what happens. Okay. Well, anyway, Frances, so he wouldn't get on the ramp for the life of him, and he didn't want to tell you why. Is that right?
No, and he wouldn't go in that particular car, and he wouldn't tell me why. He wouldn't talk. He was just mum. Nothing, not going to say anything. Yeah, every now and then that happens.
Yeah,
not too often,
it's just like people.
When it does.
Now, how do you, because normally I can dream things. Those always happen. If I dream something, it'll always happen. But I also get flashes. Like I see it's very kind of visual. Like I get an image quickly. Sometimes I hear things. But how does it usually come to you? Are you clairaudio clairaudient or are you clairvoyant?
I hear the words, and we have a conversation, and I literally, as we're talking, is how I talk with my thinking voice, and I hear their thinking voice, meaning the pet. And even if they speak another language, natively speak another language, like when I speak with clients in Tokyo, I hear English, and I obviously don't speak Japanese, so my thinking voice is my way, but they hear it as they understand it. Somehow that works in the spirit world. So the communication is in words. Sometimes they will show me a picture. Sometimes, if it's very specific, when they want to, like somebody bothered them, and they show me an image of who this person was. They were afraid. This one dog was afraid this man was going to step on him. He was a very large man, and I described what he was wearing and described him to the client, and she said, that's the groomer's husband, and he's not steady on his feet.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Showed me who it was.
Right.
So, yeah, sometimes it's pictures, too. Primarily it's words.
Right.
And it's also that feeling, just knowing. Just an absolute.
Right.
That's
why I don't have a problem with people that speak a different language either, because it's a feeling I'm getting, and then that's communicated to me in English. So, I mean, yeah, that's the same thing with you, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right, because I'm sure people ask you, well, how do you speak horse? Or,
Right.
And that's
exactly.
kind of, isn't it the same? Well, this caller's trying again, so let's see if they can get through. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, you're there. This time you're there. Hello, can you hear us?
Yes. Hi.
This is Intuitive
Is
Inc.
it?
And this is
Okay.
Servette, and we've got Francis Greenspan.
Hi. How are you? How are you?
We're
yeah.
Good. How are you?
I got your website because I know somebody else that calls over here, and I would like to see how can you help me in some questions that I have.
Okay, absolutely. What's your name?
My name is Helen.
Helen?
And I'm from Miami.
Okay, hi Helen from Miami. Frances is on the line, so sure, go ahead, and she's here. She's on with me, so go ahead.
Hi, Frances. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How can I help?
I just wanted to know, I have some questions. I don't know how you want to just answer me.
Are you asking about an animal?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
No.
this is an animal communicator. No. She's an animal communicator. Okay, I'll tell you what, Helen, then. Why don't you just ask the question? Because, Francis is just intuitive anyway, and so am I, because that's
okay.
So
okay,
just go
okay,
ahead
okay.
And ask,
I've been waiting for a job change. I was in the hospitality industry for many, many years, and then I got out because of many changes. I worked for Marriott. Then I got out into the healthcare industry, and I want to go back to hospitality. And I'm going to have, I think, the same thing I was doing before will win them an interview.
Okay.
And I wanted to know if that interview is going to go through because I really want that position.
I'm going to tell you right now because it's hitting me like a ton of bricks. Yes, you're definitely going to get this job, and there's a move coming. You're going to move with this job. I hope that's not an issue, but it's going to be
not moving exactly, but I will travel quite a bit.
That's it, because I see movement all over the place. You're going everywhere, and you love it. You love it. So
right, and then I am moving, hopefully, to a new house next year.
Well, you're moving. I know you're moving. I don't know if it's this year, next year, whatever. I'm doing this really quick, but that's what hit me. What hit me right off the bat was you got the job
next year. Now,
and you're moving.
When do you think I will get this job? Because I think I'm going to get a phone interview this week, but I'm not sure when they're going to finally hire.
July was what hit me. The three things that hit me, and you were still talking, and I was like, stop. I just have to say this. You're getting the job, you're moving, and July were the three things that hit me. So.
Okay.
I
Now,
don't
one
think
more
you're gonna
thing.
move.
I have a neighbor that really hates me. I live in a townhouse community, and she really hates me, and she has been digging my down like you couldn't believe. I'm in the board of directors, and she called me out with so many names, and, you know, I was a friend of hers, and she's in short sale, and she's supposed to be leaving, and a lot of people want her to leave because she's really a problematic person.
What?
And I'm just wondering if she's leaving this week or next week finally from this place, because I know that the bank came over to give her a letter.
I don't think she's leaving this week or next week, but I do think she's leaving. And I think that the answer there for you, or just you, because you're the only person I'm reading here, is that you should kill her with kindness. Be nice. Just be nice. She won't know what hit her. Just go ahead, Francis. Go ahead.
It's a killer with kindness.
Yeah, that's what I say. Just be nice, and then the nicer you are, the faster she'll leave. I don't think it's this week or next week, but I don't think it's very far off either. So just hang in there with her and just be nice. Okay?
So you don't have a date in which she could be leaving?
No, I
because
wish
she's
I
in
did.
short sale, big time.
I wish I did. No, I would tell you if I did, but I don't like to make things up. I don't do that. You know, it's like I just don't think it's this week or next week. So maybe it's the week after that. But I don't.
Oh, I see.
Nothing hit me with a specific date. I just don't think it's as quick as you think it is, but it's not that long either. So, yeah. And just be nice. Just be nice. Okay?
Well, she doesn't speak to me. I don't speak to her. So, you know, it's like.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. You can walk by somebody, smile. You know? Just smile. Okay? All right, Helen.
Okay,
I'm
thank
sorry
you very much.
You don't
thank
have
you.
You're very welcome. And if you have any other
Thanks
questions, you know where to find me. Okay? Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Francis, did you get anything on that too? I know you chimed in with the killer with kindness as well, but did you feel that same way?
I picked up more on the second part with the neighbor, that truly it's not about the neighbor, it's about her to just stay clear in herself, and everybody else has their opinions.
Right.
I don't worry about what other people think. So
no, that's why I said she just needs to be nice. Good.
Yep.
That's good confirmation. Very good confirmation. Well, now, if anybody has a pet and wants
we're talking animals here.
We're talking about animals. So it's 949-313-8880. I think maybe what she thought is that the neighbor's an animal, but that doesn't work. So no. We need like real pets. You have.
I like the four-legged ones.
Well, I didn't want to be rude and just say, no, this is an animal show, goodbye. So I figured, and I do get hits. Also, I noticed too that the hits that I get that are quick and out of the blue always are right on the money usually, because they're just coming out of nowhere. You know, they're left field. So anyway, so let's get back on the animal track here, everybody.
Yeah.
That was funny. And she was calling from Miami, I think, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
Amazing.
Okay, so in the meantime, while we have a few seconds here, why don't you tell everybody where are your books? Are they on your website? Are they on Amazon?
They're on my website. I self-publish, and they're all three of them are there, and I can autograph them if you like.
Okay, so tell everybody your website. If they're on your website, it's your name, correct? But with the W.
Yes, it's Frances W. Greenspan, which is FranCesWGreenspan.com.
There you go. And can they email?
On Facebook as well. Sorry.
No, your Facebook is what? Go ahead.
My Facebook, they can contact me through Facebook as well with my name.
Okay. And are you I had a question and where it went somewhere. Your website Okay. Well, anyway, we're still here. And I know your books are they also on Amazon as well, or just your website?
No, I have them on my website, so it's direct to me.
Okay. And if people want to get a hold of you, that's what I was going to ask, is if they want to get a hold of you and email you, can they do it through your website as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. The other thing I was going to mention too, because we didn't talk about this the last time, but you're also an artist. Is that right?
I am.
Yeah, I have seen, you know what I've seen? I've seen cards that you've done of people's pets, and all you've used is a photograph, and then you actually make, like, I'm sure paintings as well, but I'm not sure. Is that correct?
I do pen and ink drawings, and then if they want to have note cards or notepads made, then I can do that for them as well.
Right.
I've
seen
actually have a number, many different designs on eBay, and I have an eBay store. So it's illustrating by F.W. Greenspan. That's my eBay store.
F.W. Greenspan, right?
Right.
Okay.
Illustrating by. Yeah.
So you can actually do portraits too, because all I've seen are the cards, and I saw them in person. They're beautiful. So
thank you.
Yeah, and but you can also do portraits and other things. So if anybody's interested, they can go to F.W. Greenspan on eBay and get more information, because you should tell people about that. I totally forgot the last time to mention it, and I thought, yes, we've got to do this. Promote it. Promote yourself, Frances. And speaking of...
I forget. There's so many things that are going on.
I know. I forget to tell people that I blog every day. I do a blog called Memos from My Higher Self, and there's a memo from My Higher Self every day. So, and I always forget to say it, and then I go, oh, this, that, and you're doing this and that. And yeah, I understand. But Frances is still here, so if you have an animal question, not the people type of animal, but just an animal, pet animal, it's 949-313-8880. You can call in and ask. Now, I did have someone send me an email today, and I don't have it in front of me, but they wanted me to ask you about a pet. And I didn't do it because I told her to call in instead, which she's not doing. Carol, if you're out there, call in, because I just think it's better for you to read somebody through them than through me through them. Does that make sense, or am I incorrect?
For me, it doesn't matter if I just have a question and the name, the type, how old they are. Those are the key things for me. Mm-hmm. And then the question and just whatever comes. Because I don't read through the owner per se. It's
right.
Directly to the animal.
So I should have kept I'm not going to go look for it now, but if I would have just said Carol has a dog and it belonged to her daughter, and the daughter had to put it down and she never got a chance to talk to the dog, then you could still tune in?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Next time.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping she would just call in. So, but
oh well. I do. I'm in July. I'm going to be doing a class in Ojai at the Ojai retreat. I'm excited about that. That's in July. I want to say it's the 17th, if that's a Sunday.
Right.
I believe that's the date. And that's going to be fun.
What is the Ojai retreat? Is it a retreat you're doing, or who? Is this spiritual?
It's an actual place that's called the Ojai Retreat.
Oh, okay.
And they have a room that you rent, and there's little bungalows if you want to stay there. And my plan is to do the class and do readings for people as well. scheduled readings.
Oh, good. Okay, so it's like doing a class at Awakenings. This place is just called the Ojai Retreat, correct?
Exactly.
Oh.
And then in August, I just booked the Gateway Portal in LA, and I'll be doing my class there in August.
And that's what's that called again?
The Gateway Portal.
And where is the Gateway Portal?
In Los Angeles on Gateway and Barrington, I believe it is.
And again, that's another spiritual store where you can do events. So they're your events. Go ahead.
Sorry?
They're your events. It's just another venue like Awakenings, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good.
So I learned to speak with the animals class, and I encourage people to come back, even if they've taken the class, to come back and practice with the group, because the group energy is really helps to bring your awareness and confirmation of what you're doing. Every time you do readings like this, and you are confirmed that what you got was correct, it just gives you more and more confidence. And I just say it's practice, practice, practice.
Right.
And,
so how long have you been practicing?
Well, when I started even learning just to tune in, developing my abilities, it was a weekly practice with a closed group of women that we read for each other every week for a couple years. And it's just a matter of another, like you say, a muscle that you just keep practicing, and it just gets shorter and shorter in terms of reaching for information. You don't have to reach when you practice and you set the intent. Info comes, but you know that.
Right.
But that's it. Practicing and being healthy and clearing myself of any stuff that might be in the way, clearing the chakras and all of those things. So
right.
It's kind of things we do in class to prepare.
Right. It's a process because, if I would have stuck with, I admit I have a gift. Thank God for that. But I also think that if I would just leave it alone, then I do get hits, but they're random. They're not, they were when I was younger. They were just random. I wouldn't get them. I wouldn't be able to tune in on demand. And we have another call. So let's see who this is. Hello.
Hi, Servette.
Yes. Who's this?
Hi, it's Elsa.
Elsa. How are you, Elsa?
I'm doing well.
Oh,
I'm calling
good.
with a dog question for Francis.
Well, that's good. That's a wonderful. Is a dog an animal and not a person? Well, we just had someone call about a people question instead of an animal. We're on the line with Frances. I couldn't help make a joke there. So anyway, so she's going to help you. So go ahead, Elsa.
Okay. So my dog is Mona. She's going to be 7 years old. She suffers of Addison's disease, but we keep it controlled with her 25-day shot, or her shot every 25 days. Anyways, my problem with her is I feel she's got a lot of separation anxiety with me. And I feel so guilty when I leave for work, or even if I need to make plans for a trip, I feel like I don't know what to do. I've tried the pet motel. I've done the neighbor thing, and I develop this guilt because she gets so traumatized.
Okay.
So,
first, what is Mona?
Mona is a Bichon Poodle mix.
Bichon, okay. Okay, this is really important. It's interesting because my newsletter that just went out yesterday, the number one thing my article was leaving your pets when you go on vacation.
Right.
And the pets understand you telepathically. When you're preparing for your trip, or to leave, they know you're leaving. What they don't know is if they're going and when you're coming back. So to alleviate any anxiety, every day when you leave for work, what do you say, if anything? Do you say anything to
I do. I always tell her, Mommy's going to come back for lunch, and then she's got to work. So I do communicate with her.
Okay. But when you go on a trip, and it's overnight,
yes.
Do you say anything to her when you leave?
It's been a while, to be honest with you, because of, again, the guilt that she puts on me. But I think I do. I think I let her know, we're going to be gone for so and so long, and we'll be back.
What I'm going to suggest is when you are preparing for your trip, you say, we're going to be gone 7 times the sun goes down, meaning 7 days you're going to be gone. They don't know days, they don't know hours, they know lunchtime, dinner time, sun going down. So you can tell her this prior to your actual leaving. Also, so, Aunt Susie's going to be taking care of you, or however, however she's being taken care of. But be very clear that you're coming back, how long it's going to be, to when you come back. So there's no unending. As soon as you go out that door, if you're not saying, I'm going to be back for dinner, I'm going to be back, you can say I'll be back later, but that's not giving a actual visualization or understanding of your coming back. So and that's, I know it's general information, but it really applies in this case.
I find that very helpful, very helpful.
Okay, good.
So it's just a matter of how I'm communicating with her.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That will help both of you.
Yeah. Now go on a trip, Elsa. You could
actually, I'm planning to. I'm planning to go to Cancun in December. So I'm trying to work up these little weekend trips so I can do my 1-week trip.
Yeah, exactly. That I feel like you need a trip. That's a good thing. So you're going to Cancun in December, and you have smaller little vacations planned in between. I hope, like you said, like a weekend here, just an overnight.
Right, like a weekend here.
Just an overnight, even. That helps.
Right.
Kind of build I did that with my dog. I did that with Harper.
Right.
And Harper. So
I do know Harper. How's he doing?
She's wonderful. And you know what? She got used to, she loves the person that watches her when I'm gone. And it got to the point where I would go I was going a lot because my daughter was in law school at the University of Pennsylvania. I was flying there all the time.
Right.
And it got to the point where I'd leave her there and she'd just like, okay, bye. I was like, she did miss me when you could tell she missed me when I got home, but I would do the same. And Frances, that's excellent advice because I was told the same thing by someone else, and I would tell her, I will be gone 5 sundowns. The sun will go down 5 times. Someone else told me the exact same thing,
that's
and it really helped. Because they know, they know what that means. They know that, I think they know.
Yeah.
And I would say, however many nights I'd be gone, I would say the sun will go down and the sun will come up this many times. And she's fine with me going now. She doesn't have a problem anymore at all. So it works.
Oh, well, I can't wait to try it on Mona. And, another thing, it just strikes me funny when my neighbor and the kids come over, she just wants to be all over me, like she doesn't want the kids near me. And it's the funniest thing.
Well, Frances, I think she's just jealous, but Frances?
She's jealous, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't want to share you. She doesn't want to share you.
Oh, my poor baby.
Yeah. Well, thank you for calling, Elsa.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yourself.
Thank you, Frances.
You're welcome.
You're
And we'll
welcome.
see you soon. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That was so funny. It's funny, Frances, that you just sent out a newsletter about going on vacation, because this is vacation season, and some animals have real separation anxiety, really, really hard, really tough.
Yeah, it's very common. That's why that was my topic for this month's newsletter. It was so appropriate.
It was very appropriate. Because I know Harper would, in the beginning when I would leave her, she would just sit and bark the whole time.
Yes.
Keep barking.
As long as there's communication and they understand you're coming back, especially with rescues. I find rescues to having more anxiety on the leaving and not coming back, or taking them to the groomer and not picking them up. They're fearful that once they get in the car, that this is the end, that you're taking me away, that we're not going home. These are the kind of fears with rescues because it's happened to them.
Well, yeah.
Where they're taken and dropped off wherever they're dropped off, or left, or abandoned, or whatever it is. And so for me to go in and talk with them and let them know and assure them this is their forever home, that this is, we're coming back, we're not, I'm here, I'm not leaving you. Those kind of conversations are important.
Right. And the other thing that she touched on, which is very common as well, separation anxiety is really common, but also the jealousy thing. A lot of dogs and cats get very not protective, territorial with you. It's like you're their mommy. Don't be.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, because they want all the attention. For example, if you're working all day and you're gone, and then you come home. And then someone comes over, it's like, no, I haven't had her all day. She's mine. So.
Yeah, it's like children. They're like children.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah, it's like, no. And also, if I came home, or if I had a long day and then I came home and just fed and walked Harper and then went out again, she'd look at me like, what? No. There's got to be a little more time than that. She kind of was like, Go ahead.
I've had clients who have been single for a while, and then they start dating, and the animals that are, hey, who's this? You can't take her from me. So I'm explaining to the animals that this is part of life, and this isn't going to change any. There may be more people in your life.
Well, there's more.
Explaining what it is.
I tried to explain that to her. The way I explained that to Harper was there's someone else here to love you too.
Yes.
And also I explained to her that she'd be alone less. Which is actually true, because,
Sure.
if I'm not home, a lot of times there's someone else there, and she's used to she likes having someone around. And I also noticed something, it's really funny with Harper. She's a female dog, obviously, but she likes male energy. And it goes back to, this was my daughter's dog, and I don't want to really get into it, but she got the dog at UC Berkeley with her boyfriend, who was on the gymnastics team, which I told him, don't get a dog, and they did. But he was the one mostly in charge of her, and they got her when she was a tiny baby, and Kyle, used to run with her every day, and he loved her. They bonded. And it's funny, when she's around male energy, she's really happy. Really happy. Isn't that funny?
That's good, because she had a good experience with men.
Right.
And I've had many clients who haven't, because they've been abused or whatever.
Right. I've that same thing.
That's what.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. I had a rescue years ago that every time she saw an Asian man, only Asian men, she would freak out. And of course, there's a connection in her mind to something. And then every time she saw a broom, she did just a broom and Asian men. So,
Yeah, put that together. I think they know what's going on.
Exactly. So, and once I knew that, I just avoided that. But yes, that was hard for her. So yeah, rescues are tough because you don't know what they've been through unless you talk to Frances, who's going to find out.
That's right. I can help you. Absolutely.
That's right, because they've gone through a lot, so it helps to know. And it helps them to know, because you're not just getting information from them, you're communicating to them as well, right?
Absolutely. And reassurances, where I had a client on a phone reading. She had the dog for 6 weeks, and the dog was afraid to get too close. And I told the dog that this is your forever home. Mom loves you. She's not going to get rid of you. She wants you to be happy. And the lady was crying on the phone. I go, what's the matter? She said, she just came up to me. She never did that before. So it helps them to be eased of their anxiety. They don't want to get too close if they think this is only a foster situation where it's only one stop to the next. It's like they're just holding on, waiting for the next home that they're put in.
Right.
You know, when they know it's a forever home, it's like, oh my God, then they're willing to allow their hearts to be open too.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, we have time for a quick call. If anybody has a quick call, 949-313-8880. We'll take it. Otherwise, it's been so much fun to have you back, Frances.
Thank you.
It has.
I enjoy it.
And I love the whole, because we don't realize how, my daughter has another dog, which but I have to tell you, this dog, though, it's a Jack Russell. Actually, we have one more call, so let's take it.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi. I called earlier, and I just realized I forgot to ask you. It was about the little 5-year-old tabby, the gray one, and you talked about my nervous stomach and the cat's nervous stomach. But from hearing the lady with the dog story and the the whole vacation thing, I thought, oh my God, well, I've had a feral cat on the porch, and I think, well, maybe my gray cat Tori's symptoms have gotten worse since the feral boy Bootsy, who's another tabby, has been living out there for the past 9 months. I've been feeding him, and I took him to the vet and got him neutered and everything, and he's still kind of probably mad at me. So I don't know if my boy cat's stomach has been topsy-turvy because of Bootsy's presence, and I just forgot to add that into the call earlier, or if it's all about me and the cat.
Right.
My cat Tori.
Okay, maybe Frances has a quick answer because we're winding down here. So go ahead, Frances.
It's not really an issue. It's more about you.
Okay. All right. Well, then I guess that answers it. Okay. Well, hopefully Bootsy will make friends with Tori. That's what I hope, too. Okay. Well, thank you again. All right.
Okay. You're
Have a good
welcome.
night.
Thank you for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay, we're winding down here, Frances. Is there anything else you want? Well, I was going to tell you about my daughter rescued a 3-year-old Jack Russell Fox Terrier mix, and the SPCA had taken him from his home because of abuse and neglect. And when he got to her house, she's the opposite. First he'd been totally neglected and beaten and not fed and starved, and now he's overly loved. And I just said, you saved her life. And he kind of gave me this funny look, and I said, you saved her life. She was under so much pressure and stress. And I said, she saved yours, but you saved her life too. And after that, he was just totally comfortable. He was just totally comfortable in there. And he never looked nervous again. He just looked, and he's been the most loving. His name is Mr. Darcy.
Well, you assured him that his life is worth living.
Yeah.
Because he's doing good for her.
And it's true, too. It's really true. He gave her a reason to push forward, to get up, and she took him out of an abusive situation and has given him a wonderful home. and he gets to
Kind of
spend.
that the bumper sticker of who rescued who.
Yes, exactly. And he also gets to spend the summer on the beach in California. So
Oh, how bad is that?
the first time you saw an ocean wave, it was hilarious because he does look like Mr. Darcy because he has those whiskers, but he's a Jack Russell with long legs and the fox terrier with the whisker. He looks like Mr. Darcy. It's the most funniest thing. But it's true. Who rescued who is true. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to wind down here. Do you have anything else to add? I think you should give your website again.
Okay, it's FranceWGreenspan.com.
Yes.
Frances W. Greenspan.
Yeah, FrancesWGreenspan.com. And you're also at Awakenings on Saturday. So that's on...
That is 7. Yes.
Right. And then you've got an upcoming Ojai retreat. Ojai is beautiful. So that's going to be a ton of fun. And then the Gateway Portal in LA in August. That's going to keep you pretty busy. And if anybody wants to get a hold of you, which I hope they do, if you have any issues with your pets of any kind, not just dogs and cats, but apparently there was a turtle story here. And, birds and
Absolutely.
Right. A lot of people have parakeets and parrots, and I'm sure you talk, they can talk too.
Absolutely.
They can talk and they can talk. So this has been a pleasure. I'm really happy to have had you on again, and we'll have to do it one more time at least, I'm sure, in the near future sometime. Thank you, Frances.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
coming. Bye. Well, that was Frances Greenspan. You have all of her information, I hope. FrancesWGreenspan.com. She's on Facebook a lot, too. She also has an eBay store, and her art is actually really beautiful. I've seen it before, and it's really nice. So take a look. Anyway, we are winding down here, so I just want to remind everybody that if you need anything from me, go to my website, ServetteHassan.com. It's ServetteHassan.com. All 3 of my books that were published with Llewellyn Worldwide Publishers are on my website, but they're also on Amazon and everywhere else that you go. Especially the latest, won an award, the International Book Award, Life in Transition, is on there as well. If you miss a show, if you want to hear it again, you can always go onto my YouTube channel, which is just the Servette Hassan channel on YouTube. I also blog every day, my memos from my higher self, every single day. So take a look at that. You can find my blog on my website. There's a link to it there. And also on Facebook. I'm also available for private sessions and counseling if you need it. I really specialize in getting people unstuck, because that seems to be what keeps people held back the most. So, and really honestly, it's all about being your authentic self and moving forwards. And if you need to be unstuck, that's key, so that you can do that, because what's really beautiful is to start being your authentic self, and then when you are and you live in your own truth and you are who you really are, things happen naturally and easily with very little effort. So that's the key. Be you to the full, which is beautiful. I hope you join me next week. I will have on Marianne McGarry. She is an actress and a writer. She's written screenplays. She was on, I watched her too. She was on Mad Men. She was on an episode of Mad Men, which was awesome. And she's got some tales to tell. She's really good, and that's going to be a ton of fun. And stay tuned for Ronald Reader, who's coming up next. He's a medium, and he's a lot of fun, does a great show. So if you want to stay tuned for that, be sure and do it. And I will be back here next week with Marianne McGarry on Intuitive Inc. It's Servette Hassan. Be you to the full, because that is what is truly beautiful. Thank you.